What is good? I mean, what is good? What's good? What's good? What's good? I'm not stalling. You're stalling. Gotta make sure everything's working. Particularly the music. Yes? Hope you're having a good day. Today is not on the schedule, so don't even look at the schedule. Forget the schedule. We're going to do our thing, which is fun. Fun. Fun, I assert. It is fun. You will believe. Today we're going to work on the Perl effects. There are lots of them, so this is going to be a continuing theme with what we do. Yes, sir. What we have is, well, we have pearls. The pearls drop, and they affect the battle in our battle card game. We've got a couple of things going on already. That's pretty good. Not gonna lie, I feel that's kind of like a win already. But as we go forward, things are gonna get crazy. Let's do it. I have done some effort to make sure that when we do change stats, because a pearl drop can change the stats on our battle cards, that works. And so far, so good. Next thing I want to try is resurrecting a card. And as usual, there's some interesting things that happened along the way, and hey, why don't I stream about it instead of just barreling through it, I guess. I don't know. Give me a minute, make sure this sound works. Yes, sir. So, yeah, as usual, if you're watching the VOD, you're missing out. Please show up on Twitch, follow, show up on stream. You'll listen to music and things, not just me yapping. But you can also contribute to our game, and I think that's fun. We've got 32 more pearls that are supposed to be like superpowers in our battle card game. We could do anything, and you can be a part of making up those rules. That's fun. I think that's the funnest part about game design. So yeah, I invite anyone to help make this game. But I needed to move forward, so I made 32 pearls already. We will have 64 at some point. One of them is called Second Chance. Second Chance. This grants one of your forces a new life, so it's resurrecting, yeah? The next card yours to be defeated after this pearl drops will be revived in full immediately. And I'm sort of been leaning on this word immediately to mean that the pearl effect sits around and waits until the next card dies. And even if it's in the middle of a battle cycle, go ahead and do the big old effects and have it pop back in place and just continue as normal. I've since changed my mind on that, and I can tell you why. We have been going through these battle effects effectively in order. We did all the boosts and the stat change ones. Now we're on this. We're going to do Ice Drop in a minute. And we're going to continue to move straight through because I literally made these first ones as a test case for the kinds of things we want our pearls to be able to do. For example, later on when we do this Mega Blast, this is effectively a stat change, and no big deal. We already know how to do it. Fire and Ice, actually, this is just an attack and a freeze, so we know how to do it. It'll get easier if we can get through these test cases. So I've only got, a few more to do, basically. But then who knows, because whatever our pearl drops actually do. So, okay. We need to resurrect a card. What does that mean? We're in battle, they get defeated. They were actually removed from battle. They were defeated and actually destroyed. That's how we used to do it. But no more, because I realized, oh no, we need to be able to revive them. So let's do some of the work that we went over last stream to make sure we can just turn the card back on. And suddenly it's resurrected. As long as the data is also there, then the card can perform as if it were not dead. Okay. So my first thought was, let's just detect when the next card dies. No big deal. And when we do, let's have this effect hang out until that moment, and then immediately restore that card and remove the effect. Okay? Should be neat and tidy. No fuss, no muss, right? Right? Okay, yeah. It wasn't that easy. So here's the first step. I said we have these update functions that are being called, and I did do a little bit to make it more efficient. One of them is the attack update. So we can look at the cards and the battle and things during attacks. We can actually make this more targeted, but for right now, it is just scanning the battle data during a place where attacks can happen, which is good. We probably need to do better, but for now, it's okay. Literally, I could say, cool, yeah, which card effect is this? This is the one for second chance, and I'm supposed to be looking for a card that has just died. Fantastic. Let's do that check right now, because that's what kind of Pearl effect this is. Let's look at all of the cards that we're supposed to look at. In this case, we're looking at our own cards that are on the table and waiting for one of our own cards to die. So that's already been set up. These card effects are looking at us. And so I just look at the data. The battle data is already there, and I can say, find a card whose hit points are now less than or equal to 0. So go through all of them, find that first one. The thought was, cool, we're going to catch this as soon as it happens, and we're going to be able to manage this resurrection immediately. That word immediately was sticking in my brain, and I said, yes, we definitely want to do this immediately. Well, now I'm not so sure. I don't think we need to, and I'm actually thinking we can't. Not for technical reasons, but because of the human who's watching this battle play out, watching this Pearl effect play out. They need to actually see the death. They need to see the defeat first. So I'll explain. So here we are. Can we find a card whose hit points they're defeated? Yes. This actually works, and we see the opportunity as soon as it happens. In fact, we see it immediately. That's great, except immediately literally means even before the effect of the attack that killed them is done. So I want you to imagine you're playing the card game, and I could play a demo, but I think if you've been following any of this stream, and I know there's at least a dozen people, if not 20, who follow this project on YouTube and Twitch combined. Again, show up on stream. Make yourself known. If you've been following the stream, you understand that cards get defeated and then they effectively disappear. This is detecting it in the moment while it's being attacked, even before it disappears. This is happening immediately. So yeah, I can detect it, and I can even set its hit points back to normal. I can even turn on its visualization and boom, resurrected, right? End the effect because we're done, yeah? Okay, this totally didn't work. And it's not because, well, there was some problems actually. There was a technical issue, so it didn't exactly work. But also it occurred to me that doing it immediately is wrong. We need to show the card die. Not just because aesthetically that's what the Pearl effect should do, but because the player really can't see what's going on. This looks like it was an attack that didn't quite kill them, and that's not what happened. This is absolutely an attack that killed your card, and then it was resurrected. This moment in between defeat of the card and the resurrection time that this effect will handle, that moment in between needs to be there, and right now it's not. This prevents there from being that moment before the resurrection. Ugh. And it was sort of obvious when I saw it, like, this is wrong. We can't do it immediately at all. Instead, immediately could mean, I'm just going to tweak the definition, keep going through the battle. Keep going through this battle cycle and do it at the end of the battle cycle. In other words, let this card be defeated. And it turns out I kind of need to do that. One of the problems was a technical issue that I'll talk about with the prototype script, managing death. And it does it well, or at least it does it, so I don't want to mess with it. I want this to be a non-destructive effect. I don't really want to mess with the prototype script at all yet, if I can avoid it. So instead, I am going to just remember which one of these cards I need to resurrect. And the way I'm doing that, because I already have a reference to the card data that I want, I am going to keep this one and effectively remove all the rest. So I'm only keeping one. And as I'm saying this, I'm starting to realize there's going to be a problem that I'll have to figure out. But the test I was about to do before I started stream was just making sure that I could actually see, yes, this is the card, that needs to be resurrected, but it is currently being destroyed. It's being defeated, right? In terms of our battle script, this looks like death because we show the effects of death. I wonder if I have this available here. Yes. So Monkey has been my user that has the proper Perl. That's why he has a huge collection, because it actually took me a while to get that in place. But with this Perl in place that I could drop, the defeat, it's significant. Okay, there we go. In terms of the data on the battle script, this prototype script holds the battle data that we also copy and look at and even can manipulate. But it also includes the other decks. We're calling them decks because there's a draw pile, there's the hands of each player, and they put them in play, and so there's play decks, quote unquote. And when cards go into battle, they actually go into battle. And then they're defeated. And guess where they go? They go to a discard pile. It's a separate deck meant for discarding. So we actually need this script to just do what it's doing now. As the battle continues and a card is defeated, I actually need it to handle the death of this card. Really for the appreciation of the players. The players knows that this card was actually defeated before the effect of this Perl does its thing. You need to see the value that you got out of this, and the way it was just hiding what the Perl was actually doing for you. So it's valuable to see. Okay, in this case, I'm going to pause. So we have the battle set up. There's some battle data. The cards are set to go in the order. Well, just happens to be in 1, 2, 3. The battle order is set based on speed. We're about to go. It's turn 0, and the hit points are set. So maybe a card gets defeated. Actually, I kind of wonder if we're going to just win this round outright because we have an advantage. Not just health, but yeah, actually, I'm going to drop this now. Okay, so right now, our Pearl Effect Manager shows that this Pearl has dropped. This is second chance. That's what this index says. And okay, this is highlighting in a way I don't want. It shows us all the data about the Pearl drop, but critically, it's also showing us which cards it will affect. In this case, all of our cards. Okay, so 3, and it's the ones that we own. We are player 2, it's player two's cards, yes? And this order of data matches what we have in terms of the 3 cards that are represented as objects and represented as data. These are all correlating. They are the same. So the problem I just realized is that when I remove this, I screw up that order. I need to eventually say, like, I'm anticipating it's going to be this card that dies. This card has the least health. It's in a vulnerable position. And so I expect at some point it will be managed as death. These will be turned off or whatever. And the battle script will move this card, this one, into the discard pile. So it's cool now that this effect is in place and ready to identify when a card is about to die. I mean, literally, it hasn't died yet, but it is about to be removed and all that. It catches it immediately, which is great, because it's only supposed to resurrect one, the next card that's defeated. So it's good that we can catch this. It knows that it needs to, oh, I should also be checking on attack update. I think I said no to that, and then I changed my mind, so I'll have to fix that. So here we are. I can do this manually here. So here we are. This is about to continue the battle, and I expect Flash Monkey to die. If that's true, we should see some message come up in our console that the avatar is going to cover up, but I'll keep an eye on it for you. And in that way, we're getting confirmation that the Pearl effect is actually tracking which one it needs to do. It's going to be this one. Yeah, the speed 10. This is the Flash Monkey. Its health is low. It's only 3. And I guess its hit points are probably already low, I imagine. Where's our battle data? Here it is. Player 2 hit points. Yeah, it's at 3 now, but oh wow, the other cards are about to die as well. Ooh. Okay. Well, let's see which one actually dies first. Okay. So you can see the effect is still playing out. Regen Blood died first. This card is in the process of duplicating things, and it's going to destroy the copy and all that stuff. It's being defeated right now. It's in the middle of being defeated. I paused it. At the same time, our Pearl Effect Manager is doing its thing. It hasn't yet reformed this card effect array, but it will. It's about to do it. Oh goodness, we have 2 cards that are dead. Oof. Okay. If we can see the battle progression, we are in fact checking on attack. This is how we're detecting which one is about to die. And we see from the battle script, that this is getting a death blow right now. Regen Blood did die. And the battle script knows it before the effects are done. This is happening really, really fast. Also, our Pearl Effect Manager is checking all the time. It's actually checking faster than the battle script is performing it. So it is catching it. Here it is checking and caught. It caught it. So it knows that Regen Blood is dying right now. And so it looks like it tried to actually reform this array and failed. So that's something to fix. And then Rocket Dragon also took out our other cards. So Looks like our second chance is still checking, and it actually should not. But it sees this one is dying as well. Okay, let's figure out what happened here. Because this is exactly where I was. Oh, it's just trying to tell me which one. Okay, so it's trying to do the log that I made for it so I could do my test. And it's failing here because there should be a small number between, 0, 1, and 2. Oh, that's why. Yes, actually, I don't need to do this garbage that I hate doing. So that's a good thing. Um, all right. Now it failed there, but I guess that could have caused this to stop execution, which means this didn't return. So this data didn't get redone. Is that true? I think that's true. In other words, I just inserted a log so I could see data like this, but it broke and prevented the execution. That's okay. Let's try this again. It's a relatively easy fix. But I think there's a larger issue. I might be able to do this, and yet that causes a problem that I want to fix. So this is the fix. But the reason I'm thinking this is going to cause a problem is because eventually I need to say, like, yes, good. This is the only card we're going to resurrect. That makes sense. Wait, which card is this? Because this is data. We know that we can find the power, the health, the speed. That's what this card effect is pointing to. Great. It's holding card effect data. Wait a minute. Hold on. Do I have a reference to it? This is so I found this problem more than once, and it's leading me to believe I need to potentially. Yeah, this needs to be true. Change my mind on that. This is leading me to believe I might actually need a connection. Let's review what's in the data. I guess that was a couple of fixes good. Here's what I got. When we make a Pearl effect, part of that includes an array of the cards that this Pearl effect can influence. What does it affect, right? Sometimes it's all the cards, but a lot of times it's just one side or the other. In our case, we're only going to resurrect our cards, not theirs, yeah? Well, that's great. So this should hold not just the data about the card, which we use in things like raising stats or something like that, but it should be able to reference the original card object, the original card data, because that's necessary. So everything is great for a lot of stuff, but what I'm realizing is if I go ahead and change this data to remove the things that we shouldn't affect, oh, right, now I don't know which card it is that we're going to resurrect. Yes, there's only one, but which one? I don't know. And either I actually have some data here that refers to which index this was, which I used to have, and I said, that's silly, why do I need that? I took it out. Well, past me is being schooled by present me, looking out for future me and saying, yeah, no, you had it right the first time, dummy. Don't take it out prematurely. If I do this and maintain what this array value was, at first it does look totally redundant. There are 3 card effects and the indexes are 0, 1, and 2. this number is going to be 0 or 1 or 2. And it's like, why do we even do that? Well, here's why. Because I might remove some of these so that I'm only affecting one card. I'm doing exactly that right now. And I'm like, oh, I don't know which one. Well, now I'm going to know which one, as long as I form that correctly. So, yeah. I had this and I said, that's silly. I'll take it out. Yeah, no, don't. So this is literally going to mean this is going to mean which card index as reflected in, I need to write this down actually, the card referencer index. Now this helps me know that this is not just like my three cards, and so it only is one, two, or three, or their three cards, and it's only one, two, or three. And then I have to figure out, wait, is it mine or yours? And then do some math. No, I can just say, no, 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 no. There's zero through five, because there's six cards. That's the index we're talking about. Now, if I need to do math again after that, whatever. But I need to know things like what is the actual name of this card, and I don't keep that. I need to know what is the reference to the actual card object. I don't know that. I need to know which is the reference to the actual data, and I don't know that, except now I do, because I can store that. So I can find it again. Okay. When the Perl Effect Manager makes these card effects, this is fine as long as I originally save this index. I had this before and I got rid of it, so this is not a hard one. Perl is dropped, go find the cards. Card in play, blah, blah, blah. This now needs to say Visual Studio, you're totally in my way. That doesn't help at all. Put a big old pull-down menu in front of me. I can't see. Okay, I think this is I. Is this I? Yep, sure is. So it's that simple, and I think it's right about here where I said, wait a minute, why am I even doing this? Okay. Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. Okay. I'm also slightly under the weather. So I'm struggling with my throat at the moment. Excuse me. All right. So I know which index. And the problem that I was anticipating might happen now can't happen, even if I do this. Everything's fine. And this actually, wow, excuse me. This actually works. So, yeah. Let's put this together. I want to test this again. I want to see it say, hold on, we see which card is dying, and we're going to reserve this one. All the other card effects should be removed, so there's only one card that will be resurrected. This card effect stays around, actually. And I wonder if I can avoid that. Like, I should only be checking this once. After the card is found, it should stop checking these things. That's true. Yes. So the card effect is being checked here on attack to find that. And I mean, this is kind of what I want to do, but not. I did this. I said, hold on, I've set it to effect ended, but I know this check happens quite often. It's not every frame, but it does. This potential was there. I actually didn't see this happen. That was kind of a good test. Instead, I'm doing the actual resurrection at battle cycle update, but I'm detecting which card here. So I want to test that, and I'll do the battle cycle thing later. But I would really like to say, in fact, did I put that code down here? No, but I should. Effectively this. Yeah. I will do some of this. The effect card effects knows whether it is player one or not. And that helps me manage the crazy. There's definitely a lot of crazy. I've really been racking my brain trying to figure out a way to say all cards are treated equally. So just have one set of code, regardless of which player the card belongs to. And yet I can't get this untangled until I figure out a way to do that. I'm going to have, I mean, that is like a major part of the refactor I'm going to do with the battle script. So it is to be done. It's just been sticking in my brain. Okay, so I could resurrect as long as I understand which card and where they are. So I'll do that later. And right now I have to do it for both player one and player two. This is what I mean. It's really like not okay to do it this way. Precisely because of this, because I have to go in and make sure that they are actually doing their player. Yeah, this is terrible. Anyway, I'll clean that up. I'm gonna clean up all this stuff later. It's really sad that I need to overlook it for now, but this is the way I need to do this now to get clarity on what the specs are. I talked about this last time. I actually don't know what I don't know. And part of me fumbling through this and finding the mistakes helps me know. So and then I can build it properly. But until then, wow, it's messy. Welcome to game development. So I have a test I can do, and it should be detecting the card that needs to be resurrected next. I'm thinking as I'm saying these words. Yes, we're good. Let's go. Okay, and there's noises in the jungle. I'm going to have to deal with that by muting for a moment while I test. Here we go. Okay, so here's what happened with the test that I just did. Um, it's always a good test when you get data you can evaluate. The only failed test is the one you can't evaluate. In this case, this didn't work, and I realized why, because I could evaluate it, so that's good. It was pointing at the wrong card. It was looking at player one's card to resurrect, which is wrong. And it was just logging, but I realized that before I had this at minus, which is out of range. That's why it errored before. So now this should be okay. This is actually doing this, but I also noticed, this wasn't working. This card index kept showing 0. No, it was not 0. Like, I don't know what this was. So, it could be I just have the wrong number here. Pearl dropped. Yes, and I am looking for the. See, here's the thing. I thought I was looking at this. Store the original card stat data, and that is true. That is the index. So, Gerg, why? Oh, again, this is I really need to figure out a way around this because. Right. Okay. Like this is literally the exact same thing I just did elsewhere in the code, and I have to do it in a lot of places because I'm differentiating between player one and player two, even though they do the same things. This is so bad. This is so bad, and I need to find a better pattern, and then I use it in my refractor. But I didn't even have this data. No wonder it was 0. Okay. Again, yes. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be optimistic about this and say this is going to find it. I'm able to now, what? I want to find in the discard pile a card like these. I'm actually looking at, yeah, there's going to be a few things that I run into on this particular Pearl effect. I'm going to be waiting until battle cycle end, and I need to know what is actually going to happen at that moment while I check this on. There's a number of things that happen, and one of the things that happens is clearing this data. I wonder if I still have it by the time I need it. So we're going to find out. We are finding our way. So I need to confirm this works, and I think we're just about there where it's going to be fine. At that moment, I need to check at the end of the battle cycle what's going on with the cards that are defeated, and can I find this card, either player one or player two, and because I actually need to reinsert it into battle. Now, there's already a mechanism to add cards to battle. I wonder if I could just hook into that. That'd be nice. As if a new card got turned over. I think I can do that. Although I shouldn't have to. It would, in fact, make the battle data work. It will make 2 copies of the discard cards, which is not great. Ooh. Step 1, I need to find out what's in the discard pile. So let's, regardless of whether it's player 1 or player 2, let's see what's up. Yeah, battle data. I need to know what, it's not even on the battle data, is it? discard pile. Yeah, there we go. Oof. All right, let's see. I'm going to just scan it all and tell me what's in the discard pile. Okay, we got this. In other words, we're going to find out how far off we are. Cards blank. Okay. No problem. Easy, right? It's just resurrecting a card. How hard can that be? I mean, I haven't thought I needed to reference this yet, so I don't have easy hooks to it. It's just a mess, really. Okay, that'll tell me what's up. And the same time, I kind of so that's what's in the discard pile. I want to know because this happens all at the same time. It's actually moved out of the battle data. I believe it's already moved out of play. So in terms of the card, I just turn it on, no big deal. In terms of the data, I think I need to reinsert it. And I'm not convinced that I should leave it in the discard pile at all. Oof, right. Um, okay, because I'm not confident I'm going to be able to stop the battle at this particular moment, like exactly when I need to see it. I'm going to look at what is in the battle data. And I need to know what is happening at this moment, and it happens fast. I need to know, does the battle data include cards? Can I simply, like for example, the HP, yeah? Can I simply make this appear again in data? If so, this might be a little easier. Otherwise, I might just need to have a separate add card to battle thing right here. Messy as all get out. But let's see. All I need to know is how many of these things. P1, HP, length, plus, let's just look at, see how many cards we actually have on hand. If it says 0, yeah, I need to like do some surgery on this data while it's here in this moment before letting it go and moving along. I knew that the Pearl effects were going to do wild things like this, so here we are. Okay, so I'm going to get some good feedback to evaluate, including what's in the discard pile, what's in the battle data at this moment. Yeah, that helps me move forward. This test will be helpful to see too. So let's go. Oh my. Oh my. Who knew making a game was so crazy? I mean, yes. Uh, cheat, please. Thank you. Now then, this one pearl has an effect, and I would like to see it happen. To see it happen, I need a card that's got low health and is relatively vulnerable. Yeah, that'll do. I also need it to be like second in the order of things, so we can move this along, get this test done. But to get the test done, I need things to advance enough that I can drop this. Okay, so now I've dropped it. And this drop does, in fact, make a pearl effect. There it is. I know the cards that we're paying attention to, and the cards we're paying attention to actually have proper card index. Yay, that's a good one. What else? We know all the data. We know the references to the cards. Okay. And in fact, that index refers to these lists, so it's really, really good. Excellent. Now, this is constantly checking. Not constantly, but it is checking, and I'm going to move on. I'm hoping this card dies. Although it is a high luck card. Should I cheat? Make it easy for it to die? Actually, I need my card to die. I really need it to die. Ugh. Okay. Well, there was a card that died, so let's see. Lightning Toe died. This was I mean, yes. I guess that'll do for our test. So at the moment that we were in battle, we were killing other cards, but our cards were fine. It was checking, it was checking, it was checking, and then suddenly there was death blow. Lightning Toad is our card. Right. Okay, that makes sense. And it's dead, right? Just double checking everything so that I'm assured that when I evaluate this, I'm looking at the right things. So I turn this on as if it were resurrected. It looks like that. Good. That's good. Okay. So it's Lightning Toad that was killed. Oh, right. This is a luck win. So Lightning Toad actually killed Tactical Squid, but it was Tactical Squid that turned it around because it had higher luck. And it got lucky, basically. So it was Lightning Toad that died, and almost immediately the check on attack happened from this effect. It saw it. It knew that Lightning Toad was the one it was going to resurrect. And so it reserves Lightning Toad. And let's confirm that data. This effect has one card to deal with, and it is empty. Awesome. Awesome. This has nothing. I believe I know why that might be. It's either because this is a reference to something that now no longer exists, And that would make sense. Or when I formed this removal of the other card effects, I somehow goofed. That's also possible. But this is now. This is what happened then. So let's review what happened then. So at that moment where Lightning Toad had died, it checked what was in the discard pile, and Lightning Toad is among those things. So it was already moved to the discard pile. The battle script happens instantly. It knows what happened, and then it takes the time to show the player. And it's often a delay from what the battle script already knows. So this is consistent with that. This had already died. Battletoad is now dead as well. It's in the discard pile. So what was in the battle data at that moment? Well, we had 6 cards in the battle data. Why did I show it 3 times? I think I'm just being silly when I did this logging. Okay. And in the discard pile, yeah, I displayed who was in the discard pile, and then in the battle data, I go through. Oh, I actually look to see how many cards are in player 2. I was certain I just wanted to look at the effect of this pearl, so I was looking at that. And I also wanted to see how many we have overall, so that's why I did it 3 times, but this is telling me the thing I actually wanted to know. Do I have all the data at this moment? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. We have all 6 cards at this moment. So Lightning Toad has been moved to the discard pile, but locally on this tool, we still know which one it is. We still have a reference to it. That's good. We're still doing an attack check, and I need to figure out a graceful way to stop checking, because I don't need to. We have a card in reserve. In fact, it continues to find the one it needs to reserve, which is, I guess, consistent and helpful. It just does it over and over, which is a bit silly. More cards battle and stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's all ignored because it's just Lightning Toad it's going to reserve. And the battle end. So this round ended, and then it cleaned up. That's what we see right now. At the moment, all the battle data and all the card data got cleaned up, and that's by design. Presumably, this card's effect has already done the magic that would be like, but wait, hold on, because quote unquote immediately we are turning on and resurrecting Lightning Toad, because that's who was reserved. And isn't that great? Now we can end this effect. Done. It cleans up automatically. And so we're off to the races. We're doing great. It really should have happened at the end of the battle cycle. It makes absolutely 0 sense to resurrect it now at the end of the round. True. But this card should be, oh, it is actually up here. It's in the battle data still. Okay, good. Okay, so wait, hold on. I literally just cleared this locally. I should not do that. But in fact, the battle data is still there. Oh, that is fantastic. That actually makes this so much easier. Even though the round ended, as long as I don't clear the data locally, I actually have a reference to come in and properly resurrect this card in data as well as the card. So I already have a reference to do this and make it look like the card came back. The data is what I was just concerned about, but it turns out it's already still here, and I can, as long as I don't clear it from the Perl Effect Manager, I can talk to this prototype battle script and say, no, 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 Lightning Toad isn't dead. What are you talking about? Lightning Toad is just fine. We bring it right back to what it was originally. 7 health? Sure. There you go. 7 health. Done. And that would resurrect the card. As long as it looks alive, as long as the HP is not 0, it we may in fact have to remove it from here. Question. That's a separate question, but the actual resurrection I think we can do. It's a separate question because I don't want 2 copies of the same card, even though it's in the discard pile. For reasons I'll explain later. But B, I believe this might be in conflict. I've already seen a problem. I don't know if that's a problem, actually. There's no cards in play. I wonder. And there's no cards that are set to go from play into battle. I mean, that makes sense because the battle's done. Everything was turned over. It was all in battle. That makes sense. I think at the moment that we are at the end of the battle cycle, battle's still going on, supposedly. I mean, I guess you could resurrect the card at the end of the round, but, that's just bad on you for bad timing on your Pearl drop. But in the middle of the battle, at the end of the battle cycle, it looks like we could resurrect this card appropriately. And because the HP is not 0, it will be considered in battle and not dead. It will be placed in a battle order. It will do the rest of the things it needs to do. In fact, regardless of whether it's in the discard pile or not. I think that's true. I think that the cleanup here is in 2 stages. One is make a copy in the discard pile, and that's what we're seeing. And the second stage hasn't happened yet. The second stage happens because this HP is 0 or less. I think that's true. And it happens on the battle cycle. Interesting, actually, but it's still here. Huh. It could be that it's always still there. In fact, that makes sense because all these cards are here as well. And it just ignores the dead ones when it needs to do the battle order again. Oh, I know. It keeps this battle order. It has been a while since I worked on the script. It keeps this order regardless of whether they're dead or not. And as it goes through the order, because of the turn, it skips it if it's dead. It goes back to the start. And that's 1 battle cycle. So it gets the end, that's the end of the battle cycle. That's when I want to resurrect. So actually, this is already set up. The cards are here. Battle order is set. I don't need to do anything except this. That's the only thing I need to do. Okay. Well, let's try that, because I think that just told me this is going to be easier than I thought. If this is true, and I have all this data, and in fact, first of all, I need to not delete this data. I'm clearing out the data. On the Perl Effect Manager, I'm saying, get rid of all this. And I'm doing that because we're supposedly not in battle. Yeah, no. In battle is being handled by somewhere else. And I think it's safe. I'm going to regret this immediately, but I think it's safe to not clear it out explicitly and just let it sit there until it's remade again. It is entirely made from scratch again. Let's see if that's true. This is battle data is actually copied. Yes, that's true. P1, yep, that's copied. This is true. And card data is made from scratch. Yes, okay. I don't think we need to even do this. That solves that issue. I cleared out the local data, which prevented me from doing things easily, but now I'm not clearing it out, so it should be easier, easier, easier. I'm literally thinking, hold up, can I just do this? The answer is yes. I don't know what this index is yet. All of this tells me what I need to know. I might still need to do something about the discard pile, so I'll just leave that there. This card effect includes the index I need. Yay. It's a bit messy, but I don't care. Watch me not give a crap about that. All right. And this battle data was here anyway, but I'm also not clearing it yet. And I think that's actually going to be the right way to do it. Okay, go in and make sure the thing turns on so it looks like it came back to life. We are going to need to do some magical special effects on it as well. And we actually have some effects. Yeah, actually, we have some. Some I should use. We can make that. And I do want to log it so I know what's going on and when it happened. Now, let's do the same thing for player 2. And don't hate me, this is just copied code. I know. It's so bad. If I'm embarrassed about anything, it's that my code has duplicated. Well, I have patterns of duplicated code. Ugh, it hurt my brain to say that. Okay. Yes? Scanning through everything I just copied. I think we're good. Wow, is this really going to work? Like, I know which card, and that's it. And so, make it appear, give it health. I think that's it. And then we can get rid of the effect. I think this is actually going to work. Wow, those are the famous last words, right? I'll leave this logging here. I mean, it's like an adventure. We don't know. It could be all wrong, but we're going to try it. We might fall off the edge of the world. We're going to venture out, try to make it happen, and see what happens. Yeah? Okay. Again, it would be nice if we had a card with a lot of health, or two. Okay. And a card with very little health. And crappy defense as well. Shoot. Need it to die. So we actually need it to have, like, crappy stats all over the place. Alright. Good enough. And I need this to be sort of second. Okay, I need that one to live. Uh, I guess if I have more than one card die, it's not terrible. Right? So I have the pearl. We're looking at the right tools. And based on previous tests, what we're looking to see is pearl effect happens. We see some logging. And we're told there's one card. It's reserved to be resurrected. That's all good. So here we go. Right now we have 3, but it's going to be 1. As soon as a card... What is this? What is this? What? Stop. In the battle data, player 2. Oh, yeah, uh, that's a terrible place to get this data. What am I doing? Stop. I'm looking to restore the health. Wait, why is this even being checked? This should not do anything right now. Ah, yes. So here we are at the end of the battle cycle, and it's like, okay, time to resurrect. And it's like, whoa, dude, nothing's even died yet. So no. See, so as I go forward, I find more things that I need as a requirement for this system to work. So now I'm saying, wait, does the effect need to know that it's engaged? Does the effect need to know it's processing? Does the effect need to know it's done? Effectively, I have just the last one, but I might need more to indicate how to manage it. Wow, this is getting messy quick. Well, for now, I can absolutely skip second chance if there's more than one card effect. Because if there's 3 or 4 or 5, yeah, we haven't found anything to die yet. And it hasn't brought it down to 1. As soon as it's 1, when do we know? That's great for this one effect. That's easy, but yeah. Okay. This will work, yes. Gotta do it again. The light at the end of the tunnel is, once we get through these initial pearl effects, we will have handled most of the cases that we want to handle, and it will get easier. Fingers crossed. Okay, we take this pearl, bring it into battle, test. We need to see a card die. So, we actually need cards to stay alive, while others, yeah, like this one, dies. And I think this will do like this, yeah. Okay. All right. We're in battle. Take out the pearl, drop it. So the next card that dies will be recorded. There's no errors, right? Good. Okay. It's running. It's not quite as noisy as it was, but it's still pretty bad. All right, let's follow what's going on with the tool while it moves forward. Yes. 3 cards being looked at. Waiting to see if one dies. Wait, we have an error. Which one? What? 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 What error? Oh goodness. This is the display bug in Unity that I'm going to completely ignore. And literally once. This is bad. I hope they fix that. There's nothing I can do. And it doesn't really affect what I'm doing. So okay. Okay, someone died. So second chance is looking during the attacks. And the death blow from one card to another happened. And it is to us. No, from us to them. No, to us. Oh, luck win. There we go. Again. So it turned around and we died. And so at that moment we check and we see it. So our card died and we see it and we reserve them. Card index 0. Is that true? That can't be right. It's not. This should be 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, excuse me. I'm not trusting that. I knew this was working a moment ago, so I'm not trusting the display of it, because that actually relates to that error that we're seeing here. It's Unity. And I saw it work before, so I'm going to totally ignore it. This card died. It's been defeated. The hit points say 0. Wait. Everything 0? Bruh. Okay, what's up? Oh, because we're all dead. All right, cool. Fair enough. This is so far consistent. And the test we're looking for is what happens after this, because this was all during battle, and I'm not sure we've actually gone through a whole battle cycle yet. So it's holding on to it. Oh, and the end of the round. Oh, shoot. So you drop this pearl, but it does nothing because all of your cards died. But wait, isn't it supposed to resurrect your card? Yes, it is. Regardless if I say it happens immediately or not, this is not satisfactory. And since the battle has actually finished, this is... all right. Yeah, this is not exactly going to work yet, because I can't unring this bell. If this battle has ended, we're done. Oh, that's funny. It's already cleaned up and discarded all the cards in battle. I mean, it's still technically in battle, and it's been discarded. Can I unring this bell? Can I do that? I think so. I think this is going to, like, no, right? This is not going to work, right? I mean, I want this to work, but I know it's already decided the end of it and that the round has ended. Oh. So a moment ago I was saying, yeah, too bad, you dropped it too late. But I made the assumption there's still other cards in battle, or you won or something like that, and that's just not satisfactory because I actually want the battle to continue even though this prototype battle script has detected the end of the battle. Warps. Damn it. That's a very sticky problem. I will have to, I mean, I'm holding back on completely overhauling anything about the prototype script. But the more I do this, the more I run out of options. It's not impossible, I'm just trying to avoid it. In other words, could I, should I, must I add an extra thing in the prototype script that looks for cards that should be resurrected before it calls the end of the round? You know, which would require it's talking with this new tool that it never knew would exist. And I introduced lots of complicated things that I don't want to do. I mean, otherwise this kind of would have worked, I think, because it knew which card needed to be resurrected. It literally ended the round before the end of the battle cycle. So I don't think it even got here. And I know it didn't match this condition. Like the effect card length was more than one. So it skipped it and round ended, so this never got hit again and done. Like literally, yeah, no. By the way, I can use that same condition here. If it's if we're holding all the cards, then we should figure out which one, if anyone died, and blah blah blah. But if we already have one, then we know we've already found it. We don't need to do this. Okay, so we should stop seeing this noisy thing after it finds what it needs to find. But, oh my. It's possible, I guess. I mean, one of the things I have to consider is, along with checking at, during card moves and checking during card attacks and checking at the end of the battle cycle, do I also need to check at the end of the round? I mean, here's a crazy thing where I actually want to bring a card back and prevent the end of the round. Eesh. Yuck. Oof. Literally, the end of the round happened because all the cards are gone. That could happen. I mean, it did happen. So, how do I guarantee? I mean, before I was saying I'm just going to immediately resurrect. And is that an easier way to solve this problem? How do I get it to be clear to the player? I guess the visual effects are going to do it. I'll tell you what. Yes. If a card is defeated and I begin to play some visual effects, and in the data I actually restore its health, then the round cannot end. And at the end of the battle cycle, I will go ahead and turn on the card. This, I don't think this is going to match any kind of timing for the visual effects, but it now makes sense why it's there. That might actually be okay. That might be okay. It might be okay. I'm trying to convince myself, and if I say it often enough, it might be okay. And I'm also thinking it through while I'm saying it. So let's see. In other words, move this, right? I'm gonna actually do these things, but in a slightly different order. I'm going to go ahead. Hello. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and provide the health for this card. I'm going to do that now. And I might even play some visual effects. And then at the end of the battle cycle, I can do this step and end the effect because it's done its job. It actually needed to stick around until that time. Question, I think, perhaps. So this will work? Question. Okay, supposedly this is already down to the one card, so this is fine. Wow. Okay, let's try this, because that would be nice if this just worked. The problem was, oh shoot, the prototype battle script has things it does, and it makes sense that it does them. I never expected the pearls, but also it kind of makes sense that it does them. Am I still streaming? Yes, I guess I am. My monitor on the stream completely died, so I don't know. Okay, I'm back. All right, whatever. Man, I don't know what's up with Twitch. It's not my internet, I swear. Okay, let's go into a battle with our second chance pearl and perform this magic, which is resurrecting a card after it has been defeated. I need a particularly weak card, so this will do. And you know what? If I have two cards that die, that's not terrible. Okay, that'll work. So I'm going to move forward, I'm going to drop the pearl, and I'm going to be eyes on this tool to see what the data is doing. And eyes on the console. So, moving ahead, dropping the pearl. There's our pearl. It's looking at all three. And it's checking. It's doing its job. Now one's going to die. It's going to turn into one. Go. And some errors. Okay. So we found one of our cards, the middle card, yep, died because of, let's see, there was the death blow. We checked and we saw it immediately. It's really good. And we know we're going to reserve this as a resurrection card. Excellent. And this was not reformed properly, so that's an issue. Is it the same issue? Literally the same issue. Oh, right. This is a terrible place to get the data. Right. I never fixed that problem. Okay, let's fix that problem. This was a terrible place to find the data. I know the original health. Let's not do this here. Let's do this. Um, there. Because it's this, right? Card data. Cards. Yeah. So I can get the original health and use that. This. Boy, I hope this is good. Wait a second. What? Hold on, hold on, hold on. We were resurrecting player 2, not player 1. Why did this error there? That's crazy. No, 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 no. Why were you here? Stop. What were you doing here? Bruh. Is card effect player 1? The answer was no. You shouldn't have been here at all. Bruh. So, alright. Thinking through this, is this going to cause another error if I test this again? I mean, it should never have been there. I don't know what that was. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. I'm going to do this down here for player 2 as well, and hopefully that causes less of a problem. I need to restore the hit points. I need to do it immediately. So this, yeah, this should, yeah, this, yes, this should work. This will work. All the confidence in the world. This will work. This is great. What worries? There's no worry. Everything is spiffy cool. Right? This, that, boom. Bing, bang. Now, I'm going to go. Whatever. Whatever. Why is it cutting out? I don't understand why. Is it Twitch? It's not my, I mean, my processes are fine. I'm not doing anything different anyway. Whatever's. You know, if we just can't have nice things, then we won't have nice things. But whatever. Okay, drop this. Boom. And so next card that dies will be reserved for resurrection, if not actually resurrected. Trust. Need to look at the console. Something died. There we go. And more errors. I don't like that. Why? So it knows it was this card that we had in play. Yes. Died. Yes. And why? Good. It knows the index. It was the luck card. Good, good, good. But then why? What's up with you? Okay, it is player 2. Good. So apparently this said card effect, card index. This is 4. And went to go look at card data cards for health. Okay. Card data, card 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, health. So that's there. The null reference exception, or the out of, it's actually an out of index, right? Out of a, Index outside the range. Yep, 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 yep. Well, it wasn't this half of the line of code. It must have been this half. So battle data, player 2, card HP, this index. That's true because of the garbage I have to do when it's player 2. Gosh, damn, this is really going to drive me insane. In the same way that I got to do this garbage. That's exactly why this is ugh, yuck. Do I need to do that here? No, that's exactly right. It's only because this is a grouping only for player 2, and so there's half as many. Yuck. So literally, so gross. It's so gross. And I am going to be faced with it over and over and over and over. It is going to be a painful thing to get through. I'll be motivated to refactor, I'll say that. But oof. I'm always stopping to see if there's just some obvious pattern I should be using instead, and I can't see it. I'm going to allow it to stay ambiguous and crazy for now, as painful as that is. I don't have a choice, really. All right, so shall we resurrect a card? Please, please, please. I need a card with decent health, and I need a card that's about to die. Can I get one? That's close. It works. Yeah, okay. All right, then. Okay, so here we are at the first step of battle. We're at the end of a battle cycle, and thank goodness I have these things still in place, so it just holds it in place. I mean, I would prefer, I think, to have it be a kinetic battle. And just roll on, but no, I need to see what's up. So again, we have these cards, and it does say 3, 4, 5 for the index. That relates to 3, 4, 5 in the card data, as well as the cards in play, which are literally our cards, the objects. Okay. Let's check what's up as we move forward. We're looking for a card to die. Oh, no. They're not our... Sorry. We want our card to die, please. Okay. So now we got a card who died because of a luck win. So we killed them, but they turned it around. Okay. So now our tool checks and sees the card and says, yep, that's the card we want to keep. And it knows which one to keep. It knows it is card index 5. And we can confirm it is pointing to the right one. Yep. Yay. Good. And so it's reserving it, and we're about to get to the end of a battle cycle, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what happens. This is all going to happen fast. I want to check and make sure this gets deleted after it restores it. It's literally going to be these objects turn on at the end of the battle cycle. Ah. Ah. Okay. So, let's analyze. because that's always fun. Again, we have an error. What is this? Same problem? Of course it is. It's the exact same problem. I'll come back to that. It's literally my logging. I don't care. But here we are. I'm going all the way up to where the death blow happened. There we go. We found that we need to reserve this card, this one. And so we have it saved. We reformed our data on the card effects. So there was only one. And this is a check at the end of the battle cycle. And we know that this card has been defeated. We see it in the discard pile. Okay. Error to the logging, and I'm sure that does affect something, but we're going to ignore it. And in fact, this is the end of the battle cycle. That's when we do this discard pile check. Confirm that that's true. Yep. This is the end of the battle cycle. We do the check for what's in the discard pile. There's an error, but the battle cycle resumes. There was a death blow. Oh, goodness. This check at the end of the battle cycle actually happened on the turn. So this is actually early. This is really early. This is, yeah, we're at the end of the battle cycle, but the battle cycle hasn't gone and reset again yet. We're still on this last step, this last turn of the battle order. And so this card finishes doing its thing by attacking, and that causes the battle end. But it's okay because we have set it up such that we are going to we have already actually I don't have my logging here. It's funny. This only shows 3 things in the discard pile, and the battle is ended, so it actually cleans up and discards all the cards, and we see it. I mean, this is good, actually. I mean, so let's just find out how to clean up this, and I think we're okay. This is going to be the exact same problem. Yep, player 2 cards. That's exactly why. Like, this is so ridiculous that I'm going to be doing this over and over. It really is. It really is. Wow. There's really no way around it for now. I don't mind catching this and doing this for now. No, that's lying. I totally mind. But I need to be focused on what we're doing now, and I'll focus on the refactor later. This is great. I know what's in the discard pile. In fact, this is helping me understand that we are in the second chance battle cycle update. Okay, I wasn't clear on that before, and now I do. Right, this is exactly what, and I'm cleaning up. Yeah, and it did clean up, right? Hold up, hold up, hold up. Oh shoot. Okay, that cleared this data. Did it clear this data? No, and I'm wondering when this is going to say effect has ended, because it should, actually. Oh. I guess it did, and it cleaned up. Okay. Good. I'm squinting because I'm like Did that actually work? I guess I'll just keep an eye on it as I do further tests to make sure this cleaned up appropriately. It should have. I've seen the mechanism work. So now let's just follow through on this last thing. I'm not cleaning up aggressively on this tool and letting it sit there, even though the round is totally ended. Let's see what happens when I reset the round. Still here. Okay. I mean, that's not a problem yet. But now what? It's still there. That's worrying me a little bit. There's no chance of dropping a pearl yet, so it doesn't matter. This should clean up here, I guess. Boom. Oh, it didn't clean up. Oh, wait, nothing's turned over yet. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Bruh. This didn't clean up at all. Okay, so these are missing. That makes sense. So I do need a step to clean up. I think it's just this that's doing it at the wrong time. Okay, so what does that mean? It means we got some things to work. Did we actually get it to resurrect? Aside from the little logging errors, I think we did. Doesn't look like it yet, but we'll get there. So this is good, except the part where we ignore cleaning up this data. And that begins to at least be confusing, if not a problem. I think we need this. But we're doing it in the wrong place. This condition and other conditions up above. So, like, if not in battle. So I'm saying, okay, you're not in battle. Well, have you cleaned up yet? That's what this is, right? And if not, then you just aggressively clean up immediately. But what I actually want to do is a bit more of a test. Like, it should be totally safe to clean this up, not only after the round. Actually, I wonder if we could just uncomment this. But it should be, I guess, safer to clean this data like if this thing says we are in a particular phase of battle. In fact, I know that this holds this test script, the prototype battle script still holds data on the battle for a long time. How about we just let it tell us when we should clean our data? I mean, we're literally holding this data as a reference directly back to this thing. So let's let this thing tell us when it's garbage and we should get rid of it. Yeah, let's do that. I think, battle order is a good one. Yeah, if this length is 0. All right, I'm down. Whenever the prototype battle script cleans its data, we'll clean ours. That sounds reasonable. So, wait, aside from the logging, right? Otherwise, this would have resurrected. Given, like, there's more battle to do and, like, we didn't win. Wow. There's so many conditions that need to happen to make this test work. kind of a lot. The hardest part about science is developing the test, devising the test. It's like the hardest part. I need a very weak card, and they all happen to have decent health. Yeah. All right. One of these cards is going to die, for sure. Unless we just win. I guess that's possible too. Right? Oh, pow. So at this moment, we have an effect. We're waiting to see one of our cards die. I think we've looked at all of this, so all of this should be good. Really should be. Let's see what happens. With all the cards turned over and only a few in play, like there's only 3 cards on the side and they're all turned over, this is going to roll very quickly. It's going to go through battle cycles very quickly. In fact, I think what we just saw was our card take out another card, but it was turned around with a luck win again. It is a luck card, so it makes sense. Our tool saw it on a checking its attack stuff, saw the card die, and said, "Yep, we're going to reserve you and resurrect you." In fact, I think it immediately did it. Here's the battle cycle update. It happened immediately. I may need to just give up the idea of delaying this. And Sonic Sarlin is resurrected. Is that true? Look at the battle data. So the effect is gone. That was cleaned up. Okay. We're at the top of the battle order. Or in the middle, I guess. And the HP has been restored for our Sonic Starling. Yep, back to its original 7. Yes. Wow. I guess we're going to need some visual effects because it was literally resurrected and we can't see it. Ooh, there's a bug. What is this? That looks terrible. What happened? Oh yeah, it's bad. So this is a system script dealing with moving cards from one deck to another. And apparently we told it to move something that doesn't exist. Out of range. And I'm, more than willing to accept that because it makes sense. This was one of the cards that has already died. It shouldn't be here. It's being removed again. Right. Why is it out of range? This line of code said no way Jose because one of these numbers, the I or the count, is a no-go for this array that I was dealing with. This script was passed in a deck, cards, or hand, or pile, or whatever, and tried to operate on that. Making a copy of it, subtracting 1 from the length of that, and it's going through to it's trying to remove it from play. So this was literally given a play deck. Player 2 had this card in play. It's trying to take it out and move it to the discard pile. No, it's literally just doing the step of removing it. And apparently it found a card of a different name and tried to do this. Ah, right. But it assumes one is less. And wait a minute. Hmm. Well, it errored there, and the thing it came from before that was this. This is literally clean it up because it has been added to the discard pile. And I bet you if we look at it, see that. Yeah, it's already in the discard pile. Oh, it's in the discard pile twice. That makes sense, actually. Because we haven't dealt with that yet. But this is the call. This one is the play deck. And among the player 2 cards, find this name and use it. It did use a name and get here because it was saying, well, yeah, that's not that name. But in the process of taking what was there and applying it to the new temporary deck, I guess it couldn't find this. Because this is just going to be added, that's fine. This is temporary, it's a copy of that, blah, 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 blah. This is probably empty. Is that true? Remove from play. Huh. It is true. Well, like I mentioned before, there is some management to keep there from being duplicate cards like this. And I think I'm screwing with that management when I say, yeah, resurrect the card. Which kind of makes sense, actually. What we need to do is, wow, I don't want to go in and mess with the script, but I think the mechanism that assumes dead cards stay dead includes taking it out of play. And it does that while the battle is running. That makes some sense. Cards will be in play and enter battle at different times, and we don't know what those are. So this makes some sense. Cards get defeated and must be removed from the possibility of being put in battle. I guess that makes sense. This is managed and cleaned up as the battle progresses. And So, okay, this kind of makes sense. And so, are we resurrecting the card? You bet, it's right there. In fact, it's alive and doing well. Oh, it died, actually. It's dying right now, that's right. But it was there for a little bit and did a little bit of help. The problem, however, is when I try to grab it again from here, it is already gone. And so I don't want to touch this script. But I'm thinking now. I'm thinking now that if I'm going to do this operation of removing it from one place and putting it in another, I need to confirm it's there first. Maybe I am going to actually mess with this. Gosh, I seem to only be giving it the deck and a card name. So why is this failing? Uh, it seems to think that this index is still there. Wow, that seems strange. Isn't it looking at the length of the index immediately? It should be updated right now. Why would this be wrong? Yeah. Anytime I'm going back to a function that has been tested and working the whole time, I, I know that's not what the problem is. The problem is what I've recently been working on, and it makes sense. I'm resurrecting a card. It doesn't expect there to be two versions of this card, etc. But to fix it now, hmm, removing a card from play. It is meant to, in effect, destroy. So I'm looking for a non-destructive way, but literally I need to get over that for this one point because I'm actually removing a card from the data of the play deck for this player. It has been defeated. Get rid of it. And what I'm doing is reforming this play deck, which is why the entire battle stopped. It's because I can't really move forward if this fails. But I think I know what's up. This battle order has a length as well. And at some point, these may have gotten out of sync. Is that true? No, I'm just grabbing a name. I wonder what name, actually. This operation, I remember, was very carefully done because I'm still going through the battle order while I'm removing things. I really don't want to perform surgery on this old code because, I mean, this prototype script, yeah, this is garbage. But the system scripts that handle really basic stuff, I'm not touching. I'm not going to touch this. So I need to think about it, actually. I need to think about this. This caused an error that makes a lot of sense. It's right that it errored out. It's true. Um, um, and what I need to think about is the second order effect. Second order effect is now that the data that manages what cards are on the table is being screwed with, how can I, in a non destructive way, let the battle continue gracefully? Can I do that with data? Do I need to accommodate that with some system on this new tool? Or do I even have to go all the way down to previous tools and do something special? So I need to handle the play deck. It's the pile of cards that represents what's on the table. Language. So, yeah, this is something I need to think about because I'd rather have an elegant solution. I'm almost there. I mean, in fact, we are resurrecting the card. It's what happens after that. But, like literally, if the card dies twice, then there's a problem. It makes sense that's the problem. So I'm going to think about that. I don't want to touch the older code yet, not unless I have to. So far, I've been able to get around that, which is great. And we're almost done with these first Perl effects, which means the rest are going to, fingers crossed, be easier. So we made progress. It's just I still haven't gotten all the way through the second chance Perl. That effect includes messing with the battle data so much that it kind of makes sense that this problem happened. So I'm going to have a think about that. We're going to end stream. Um, Lucky Twitch only cut out once, I guess. And I think it's useful. Take a little time. I could definitely like eat, I guess. Um, yeah, I think we're good. You know, as usual, if you're following this VOD on YouTube, please come on over to Twitch. Make yourself known. Show up on stream and say hi. Help us. There's pearls to be made. For crying out loud, just make up some rules, give it a good look, and name it something special, right? We'll include it in the game. It'll be great. You can do it. For now, be well, do good, take care. See ya.